All right, so get this. We're going deep on the 5-second rule today.
Yeah.
That whole idea that counting down can help you make big changes.
Sounds intriguing.
Right. You guys sent in excerpts from Mel Robbins' book. It's called The 5-Second Rule. Transform your life, work, and confidence with everyday courage.
Everyday courage, huh?
Yeah. And that's what we're going to unpack today, like what this rule is, why it works, and how you can actually use it. Think of it as your cheat sheet for, well, making awesome things happen.
Love it.
Now, Mel Robbins doesn't just, like, throw the rule at you. She starts with this really relatable story. Picture this. She's feeling stuck, unhappy. Her husband's business is struggling. She's even turning to alcohol.
Oh, wow.
I know, right? It's a rough spot, and I think a lot of people have been there.
Definitely. Starting with a story like that makes it real. It shows that this isn't just some out there concept.
Exactly. So she's in this rut,
Right.
right? And then, bam, inspiration hits her while watching a rocket launch commercial.
A rocket launch.
Yeah. She sees the countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and something clicks. She decides to use that same countdown to launch herself out of bed and out of her funk. Funny how these things happen.
It is funny how our brains work. She was searching for an answer, and then boom, a visual cue, a rocket, a countdown. It triggers a new way of thinking.
That's a good point. So this 5-second rule, break it down for us.
Well, it's super simple. Whenever you hesitate, when you start overthinking something, you count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you just act. Like right away, before the doubt sets in.
Okay, that sounds almost too easy. Does that really work?
Think about it. Your brain's fight or flight response kicks in when you're about to do something new or challenging. The countdown's like a reset button. It shifts control to your prefrontal cortex.
Prefrontal. What now?
It's the part of your brain that makes rational decisions. The 5-second rule is like a trick to outsmart your own anxiety.
Whoa. So I can trick my brain into being brave.
Exactly. And Mel Robbins uses all these examples, like from history and everyday life, to show that acting on instinct can lead to amazing things.
Okay, I'm hooked, but I need to hear those examples.
All right, well, how about this? John Walker, the guy who invented matches, he totally stumbled on the idea by accident. He was stirring chemicals, something ignited on his stick.
Oh, I see where this is going.
He could have just dismissed it, but he didn't. He was curious and followed that spark, and boom, the match was born.
Wow, so he kind of used the 5-second rule without knowing it, right?
Yeah.
Like, he acted before he could overthink it.
Right. And there are so many more. George de Mistral, he invented Velcro. You know how he got the idea? From those little burrs that stick to your clothes.
No way. I never thought about it like that.
And Art Fry, the guy behind Post-it notes, he was just trying to find a good bookmark that wouldn't ruin his pages. These little moments can lead to huge discoveries.
Okay, I'm seeing a pattern here. These inventors, they didn't hesitate. They just acted on their ideas.
Exactly. It's like they were tuned into their instincts. And it's not just inventions. Think about Rosa Parks refusing to give up her seat on the bus. It was spontaneous, it was brave, and it sparked a movement.
Rosa Parks, a 5-second rule master. That's pretty cool.
Right. She acted on her gut feelings, just like what Mel Robbins is talking about.
This is wild. I'm seeing this 5-second rule everywhere now.
And get this. A few days after Rosa Parks was arrested, a young preacher in the same city was chosen to lead the bus boycott.
Oh, wow. Really?
He later said that he felt completely overwhelmed, but that it happened so quickly that he did not have time to think it through. The book doesn't say it outright, but that young preacher was Martin Luther King Jr.
You're kidding. Are you saying that one moment of hesitation could have changed the entire civil rights movement?
It shows you how those split-second decisions can be so huge, They shape our lives and even the course of history.
My mind is blown. I need a second to process all of this.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling this is just the beginning, right?
Oh, yeah, we've just scratched the surface. We've seen how this rule played a part in history and inventions. But the real magic is seeing how it works in our daily lives, like those little things we all struggle with.
You mean like finally making it to the gym?
Yeah.
Or like speaking up in meetings? Because let me tell you, sometimes those feel just as daunting as, leading a boycott.
Exactly. It's all about taking that same courage and using it in everyday life. Think of it as a way to unlock your potential, one 5-second decision at a time. So, ready to tackle some of those everyday challenges? Let's talk about procrastination.
Oh man, procrastination is my specialty. But okay, how does this rule help?
Well, procrastination, it's not always about being lazy.
Yeah, sure.
It can be deeper than that, right? Like fear of messing up or just feeling overwhelmed.
Totally. I've definitely put things off because I was like scared of failing, or I just didn't even know where to start.
Exactly. And that's where the 5-second rule comes in. Remember, it's about shifting control to the thinking part of your brain.
Right, the prefrontal cortex.
Yes. So next time you feel like procrastinating, don't give in. Count down from 5 and just do something, anything, to get started.
So like just to open a document or like jotting down a few ideas.
Exactly. It's about breaking through that initial, resistance.
That makes sense. Once you start, it's usually not so bad.
Right. It's like pushing a heavy object. The hardest part is getting it moving. And remember that visualization thing we talked about? Picturing your future you.
Oh, yeah, that was powerful. It was like stepping into the shoes of the best version of myself.
Right. And studies show that visualizing your future self actually makes you more likely to, take action now.
So instead of focusing on how much I don't want to do something, I can focus on how good it'll feel when it's done.
Exactly. It's like tapping into that motivation and letting it drive you.
Okay, I like that. It's like a pep talk for my future self.
Yeah.
So, procrastination, check. What about confidence? I know that's a big one for a lot of people.
Confidence is huge. And Mel Robbins makes a great point. It's not something you're born with. It's something you build through action.
Wait, so you're saying it's not about feeling confident first. It's about acting confident.
You got it. The more you push yourself outside your comfort zone, the more confident you become.
So it's like a muscle you got to work out.
Yes. And the 5-second rule can be your confidence booster. When you hear that voice saying, I can't do this, count down and just do it.
Like, hey, fear, I see you, but I'm not letting you win.
Exactly. You're taking control, proving to yourself that you're capable of more than you think.
I love that. You start to see yourself as someone who takes action, who doesn't let fear hold them back.
Right. You change how you see yourself. You're brave, you're capable, and you can achieve your dreams.
This is so empowering. Okay, so we've covered procrastination, confidence. What about relationships? Those can be tough.
Oh, for sure. Relationships definitely require courage and, being vulnerable.
Yeah. And sometimes I just want to, like, run and hide.
It's scary to put yourself out there, but the 5-second rule can help you choose connection over, staying comfortable. When you feel like holding back, count down and then speak your truth.
Whoa, that's easier said than done.
Yeah.
But I can see how that would make relationships stronger and more honest.
Exactly. You build trust, you show people that you're willing to be vulnerable. And it's not just about the big moments, It's also the small things.
Like just sending a quick text to say, hey, I'm thinking of you. Or like really listening when someone's talking.
Yes. Being present, being attentive, being engaged.
I'm starting to see a theme here. This isn't just about like getting things done. It's about showing up in every part of our lives.
Exactly. It's about being intentional, having courage, and connecting with others.
This is great stuff. I'm ready to take on the world 5 seconds at a time.
Yeah.
But what about those times when, things don't go as planned? What about setbacks? How do we keep going? So setbacks, right? Those moments when things just don't go your way. It's like hitting a wall.
Setbacks, they're part of life. The important thing is how we react to them. Mel Robbins actually talks about seeing setbacks not as failures, but as opportunities.
Oh, I like that. So instead of getting stuck in the disappointment, you can use it to learn.
Yeah. Like a course correction, Imagine you're on a ride trip, you hit a detour. Might be frustrating, but hey, maybe it leads you to an even better route.
Ooh, that's a good analogy. But how does the 5-second rule fit in here? Like when you're dealing with those tough moments?
It can be your tool for bouncing back. It's easy to get caught up in negative thoughts after a setback, but instead of dwelling on that, count down from 5 and shift your focus.
So instead of asking, why me? I should be asking, okay, what now?
Exactly. Take charge, focus on what you can control. Remember that countdown helps you tap into the problem-solving part of your brain.
So I'm basically hacking my brain to find solutions instead of just freaking out.
You got it.
Yeah.
Stop that downward spiral and choose to focus on learning and moving forward.
Wow, this is making me think about all those times I've given up on things, Maybe all I needed was those 5 seconds to reset.
It's never too late to use the 5-second rule. You can reframe past experiences and, approach future challenges with more resilience.
I love that. So it's not just about getting over individual setbacks. It's about a bigger mindset shift.
Right. Mel Robbins emphasizes embracing challenges and seeing them as a chance to grow.
So getting comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Exactly. Stepping outside your comfort zone is where the real growth happens.
This is inspiring. Challenges, setbacks, even fears, they're not things to avoid. They're all part of the journey.
Mel Robbins reminds us that we are capable of so much more than we realize. We can create incredible lives with purpose, passion, and connection.
And the 5-second rule, is like that key that unlocks it all. Taking those small, courageous actions, those 5-second decisions, and seeing what happens.
It all starts with a decision to act, to be courageous, to take those 5 seconds and see where it leads you.
This deep dive has been amazing. I feel like I have like a toolbox now for tackling challenges and, creating a life that's actually in line with my goals.
And remember, you're not alone in this. Everyone faces those moments of doubt. But the 5 second rule is there to remind you that you can choose courage, you can choose connections, you can choose action.
So think about it. What's one small thing you've been putting off? Could you use the 5-second rule to finally take action on
Yeah.
it today?
Every journey starts with that first step, and sometimes all it takes is 5 seconds to get going.
That's a great note to end on. Until next time, keep diving deep, everyone.